Hello, everyone. It's Shara Arman with the Alight Institute. I've had some really beautiful sessions with clients recently and also some deep conversations with a very beloved friend who is engaged in a profound healing process. And I wanted to talk to you today about two topics. One is, are you everlastingly tightened up to face things, as Dorothy Sayers wrote in one of her wonderful novels, which I used to love so much? Or are you experiencing yourself as a connecting point between heaven and earth and ultimately safe and secure because you're alive and because source consciousness supports you? So that's the first thing. And I'll come back to that in a minute. The second is really about determination and choice and activating yourself to be empowered. So those are my two topics, and I won't go on for too long. On this topic of, are you everlastingly tightened up to face things? Um, I've lived that way for a long time, for a lot of complex reasons. I think many of us do. For me, it has shown up physically a lot. Um, in fact, with a lot of tightness in my body. Um, and it can show up in so many ways, like maybe you hold your breath, or your shoulders are tight, or you have pain somewhere in your back, or you get headaches, or you clench your teeth. I mean, on and on. These internal neurological orientations do tend to really show up in our bodies. And I could say a whole lot more about that, but I think you get the point. Um, what I find I'm learning lately, though, is even though I have some really complex and challenging circumstances in my life and my household right now, it is still possible to feel safe simply because you choose to. And because if you can feel yourself, perceive yourself as a column of energy between the heavens and the earth, with both the heavens, whatever kind of spiritual reality you believe in, and the earth giving you sustenance and shelter and support, then in a certain kind of existential, spiritual, eternal way, you're safe. Even you're safe no matter what happens, or at least your soul is safe. The essence of you is safe no matter what happens. So I invite you to feel that. We all have reasons why we do not feel safe, and reasons why we're tightened up in some way, tightened up, kind of waiting for the next stressor, the next disappointment, the next pain, etc. See if you can just feel into and experience for yourself the difference between that tightened up stance, always expecting the next difficult thing to come, and the stance of deciding, I'm safe. I'm here, connected to the heavens and the earth, and I'm safe because life exists, source consciousness exists, I exist. So I offer you that, and I'd love to know how that feels for you. On determination, really, really feeling this recently. I've had just the most beautiful client sessions recently in the Akashic Records, and it's amazing to me how even accomplished people uh, can have difficulty trusting themselves and their intuition. That is, of course, the beauty of trading intuitive insights with friends, or consulting with someone who has intuitive skills and can help you refine and confirm what you're feeling. And of course, I'm always happy to do that with you. But it's also an inside job. I've found that for myself and my clients, indeed, it can be pivotal to gain the benefit of someone else's intuition, insight, and confirmation. Again, that can be a friend, it can be a healer. But as much as that has been profoundly pivotal and healing in my life, more and more I see that additionally, that determination, that confidence, that self trust to heed your inner wisdom and do whatever you are here on the planet to do, it's ultimately your choice. It's my choice. It's a choice each of us has to make individually. And again, although I know for sure the more we practice, the easier it gets. But I just wanted to name this in a really tender way because I feel so much compassion for myself and the clients I've seen recently, and all of you who feel some stirrings, some inklings, some ideas, um, creative impulses of ways that you want to develop yourself and contribute to our world to be a bringer of healing and well-being. And yet we don't believe it. We don't believe that about ourselves. We doubt our capacity to do it. We doubt that we'll be able to support ourselves doing it. We worry what our friends and loved ones will say if we um, stretch or leap or expand and do this thing that's in our hearts. But the world so much needs that from you. Transformation only occurs, whether it's for you individually or for others around you or for our world. Transformation only occurs when people follow that heart-centered, soulful guidance and they move forward, they step forward, they present themselves, they share their idea, their creativity. So I guess this is just it's feeling important to me today to name it, to encourage you, and to encourage you again to please find ways to be listening to that internal guidance, however you experience it. Uh, I've mentioned I'm starting to offer some local real-time classes on how to access your own Akashic records. I will probably also move those classes online in some way in the next few months. So let me know if you're interested. The Akashic records are just one avenue, one way to do it. They're a really rich, beautiful, supportive way to do it, but of course there are many others. But I really believe the only way out of feeling stuck inside your own doubts and your own fear of blossoming is to continually toggle between your mind and your intuition and have them in a really steady conversation. So I'm always happy to help you do that in a session. And mostly, I just encourage you to be doing it and let yourself blossom, let yourself transform. Our world is going in a bright and healing direction. I really believe that. It's not showing up a whole lot in our major institutions yet, but it is showing up in people. And I really believe people are going to start demanding different kinds of institutions and structures that match what our hearts know to be true. So we really need a lot of people who are going to be living from their heart's wisdom and their intuitive impulses. I hope you will be one of them. Thank you for listening.